know why I didn't do this video a long time ago, but I want to do a video about what I do to test the high-def NES before I call it good and done. I'm at the point where it's all installed, except I have not put the RF shielding over the top of it. I have not put the top shell on. This just makes it easier to get back in there and do something if something's wrong. So there's just a small, I don't know, sequence of stuff that I do to make sure that it's fit to send out to the customer or whoever buys it. And on the outside, there's a couple things, like I actually do like to test with both a DC adapter. Here's one of my cheap Chinese switching regulator types, or switching power supply types, and then I also test with an original AC adapter, which is not sitting here right now, because the Nintendo accepts AC and DC, and I have actually seen failures where AC worked and DC didn't, and another failure where DC worked and AC didn't. It's weird, but it does happen, so I like to test for both. Also, you know, I mean, obviously we're going to be testing HDMI output, but I also like to test composite output, because in most cases it does still work. And then on the new kits, which everybody's going to be getting, it will definitely work if you restore the video circuit. And I'll do a different video, different write-up or whatever about that. Of course, I connect both controllers up just to make sure, because you never know with the wiring on the connectors to the motherboard. And then I use a power pack. And of course, the new ZIF connectors are always such a pain in the butt. You know, and blinking light win is still not to the point where I think I can just order a bunch of them and get them, but I definitely recommend that you do install the blinking light win. Like, I have a file here, I call it just test, and I've got a couple things in here that I do. I have the high-def NES update. 2.25 is the latest as of well, it was like, I think it was April when or maybe longer than that, but April, May of 2016. And you can just check that by going in the menu, select left, and about, and it'll say the version. The first one I think was it was 1, but somehow it showed up 0.1, and then there was a version 2, which fixed almost everything, and then the 2.25 fixes 3 games like Ghoul School, Bart vs. Space Mutants, and Blaster Master, but it also fixes interpolation. So if you don't have that, and all the new kits will have that, but you know, like there's already, like, I don't know, maybe somewhere in the range of 80 or 90 kits that have already been sold and out there that may have version 1 or 2 on it still. You go back, hit B, and if you do the update, you go into save and options, and you go up, and you click up once, and it'll do update firmware. You go in there, and you have to be running the ROM first, which that's what I'm doing. You can get to this just through the menu. So like if I hit select and get out of here and restart, I can actually go to the 2.25 and start that ROM. Takes a few seconds to load, and then you'll finally get this the update software, and it says waiting for request at the bottom. Then you go into the menu, and then you go to upgrade firmware, and you just hit A couple times and it'll update it. When you do that, do not unpower or disconnect power from the console. It will brick the kit, and you do have to send it back to get it reflashed. So when I know the firmware is good, then I will go actually into the NTF2 test cart ROM and run that. That's the test video and work RAM, and that's an OBJ test. I think object, just to make sure that your controller moves stuff. And then that's the actual button test. That's why I have the second controller plugged in. And this is one of those third-party controllers that does not actually turn the blocks red for some reason, but I can hear it, so I know it's working. And then I usually, since I have the power pack and I have the remote reset mappers, I hit start AB and it'll go take me back to this screen, and then I can go down and do the sound test, which I won't do here because it doesn't matter, and the color test, which it's not really going to show anything, but then I'll actually test the high-def NES console reset. And I think, let's see, select start down is the short reset, takes you back to that. Select start up is the long reset, and that'll take you back to the power pack menu. Very cool to have that. Go back into the test, and then I'll actually load Double Dragon 1 to look for the despeckle or the speckles. Select start, and almost right away you'll see them mostly up in the green brick, sometimes in this column here. And I actually do let the game start and play it a little bit just to make sure. And I don't see anything up there. If you do, select left menu, go back to the main, and we'll go down to video options, hit up once to go to despeckle, and you'll just change that to a different phase until you don't see them. And I've never been to phase 2 and 3. I think I've had to change to phase 1 maybe once, and that's really dependent on, I think it's the PPU maybe. And you know, I've been doing mostly front loaders, so they're almost all E and G rev, I think. And rarely have I had to change the phase. And I don't really think it's a certain rev. I mean, it's actually just the chip itself. It's kind of unpredictable, and I'll do a long reset again. And I'll actually go to Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, and I like to cheat. The AAVET LGA is more power per strike. That's just so I can get through more of the characters quicker. What I'm looking for here is only applicable to the black colored kits, what I consider first batch. And mostly I was looking for when the whole screen would just kind of flash real quick. It's almost like a full screen of speckles. And that actually turned out to be the composite video circuit messing with it, and that's fixed in the new kits. So this is really just playing the game for a while just to make sure everything's okay, you know. And I pretty much do this on every console. And after I play like the first 3 characters, I'll just hit reset so that the attract mode of the game will just sit there and loop, and I'll just let it sit here for a few hours and just loop. You know, I'll walk through here every once in a while and just take a look and make sure everything still looks good, and then once that's done, I'll just button it back up. The main thing is you want to take note of your serial number, which is on the bottom of the main kit. So, you know, once you have it all completely installed, you don't want to take it back apart just to look at the serial number sticker. But you can actually go into the menu and go to Save and Options, and your serial number is right there. This one is actually 1056. That's how many kits have been made so far. That's not the new kits. That's just all the old kits. But that includes all of the analog NT stuff too, which there was a ton more of those than high def NES kits so far. But we plan to fix that soon. So I think that's and I usually write that down, and I write down the serial number because it's good to keep track. You know, especially for the people doing installations, they want to know, you know, make sure that the serial number of each matchup or who they went to. You know, maybe in the long future we might need to track down certain serial numbers or certain batches. You know, it's just good record keeping. That's all it is. So pretty quick little video. Hope you learned something. This is definitely for everybody. This is not just for installers. You know, I want everybody to do this just to make sure that everything is good to go. So there you have it.